I have been here for 2 months now, and a lot has been going on, so I'll try to sum it up all very quickly and let you guys in on what I'm doing. As the ministry goes, it has been so awesome to connect with other missionaries that are here that are learning or serving with human trafficking. And I've learned a lot. Last month I went to a conference, and this weekend I'll go to a workshop, all learning on how to intervene and to prevent human trafficking. And speaking to the other missionaries that are here, that a lot of them come from Latin America, I learned a lot of ways that I can go back to Mexico and do something there as well. So it's been really awesome. I'm seeing a lot of doors opening, and I'm very, very excited to go back to Mexico in August and start looking at what I can do. On that same topic, in one of my subjects, one of my final projects is to do a huge prevention program. And I talked to one of my classmates about why I was here in Malaga, and he loved the idea of doing it on human trafficking. So in a few months we will be doing a prevention workshop in the college that I'm in currently about human trafficking. And Malaga is very, very contaminated with this problem. And a lot of the reason of that is because the sexual demand is so high. So the more people want to consume prostitution, the more women need to be drawn here to provide for that demand. So I pray that we will be able to create awareness in our classmates that will be hearing this. Another very exciting thing that is happening is that one of my roommates, who is also from Mexico, was a very, very strong Catholic, has had a lot of questions about what it means to be a Christian. She can definitely see that there's a difference between my spiritual life and hers, so that has raised a lot of questions in her. And while Holy Week arrived, she had so many doubts about the way that Catholicism expressed the resurrection. And in Malaga here, there is a lot of idolatry, and it's very sad. There were parades all over. There were huge statues that weighed tons and tons of pounds. She could feel that that wasn't necessarily a sacrifice that God would ask of us, or it wasn't one that would draw us closer to Him. So she asked me a lot of questions. At the end, she asked if she could go to church with me. And she did. She loved it. And the church that I'm going to is very, very awesome. And they're very mission oriented. They're very warm. And they just embraced her completely. Please, please keep her in your prayers. Her name is Andrea, and I know that God is speaking to her heart. I can see how this is very hard for her to accept because her parents are very strong Catholics. And she's even expressed her desire to be baptized, but she knows that there's no way that she could explain that to her parents. One thing that was very surprising to me is that she said that in her 22 years of life, she had never met another Christian. And I'm sure that at some point, somebody in her high school or her middle school or even in college, there was a Christian around her, but they never expressed their faith or their life wasn't invitational for others to love God. So I want to challenge you to assure that there is nobody around you guys who get to 20 years old and never hear the true message of salvation. One of my biggest dreams was to go backpacking at some point in my life, and it came true during spring break. We went to Belgium, we went to Paris, and Barcelona. And in total, in 10 days, we walked over 140 kilometers. And being in these 3 countries made me see how diverse the world is. I loved seeing how different people are and how many languages were all around me. It made me feel so small, but it made me understand even deeper how big God is. A very special lesson that I've been learning is about the desires of my heart. I've always loved traveling because of the way I grew up. I was just always around new cultures and new people, and with a call to missions, I just assumed that I would live everywhere and just be adventurous and backpack all over the world sharing the gospel, and that's a big essence of who I am. But when God said that I needed to stay in college and finish my degree and look for stability, I thought that I was giving up all those dreams and desires to God, and I did. But it's so amazing to see that when I gave Him my dreams, thinking that I was giving them up and that they weren't going to come true, He made them come true. And now I'm here, and not only am I doing a ministry that I love, I'm enjoying my career so much. Before I came to live in Spain, God started working a very delicate area in my past. I grew up all over, and my lifestyle was never very stable when I was young, and I love that. I love that I can share two cultures, and I love that I can speak two languages, and that I have friends from all over the world. But for some reason, right before I even knew that I was coming to live in Spain, God started really working that area of my life and asked me to just stay still. And I thought that staying still meant staying in one place. And that was just very confusing to me. And at some point I allowed the devil to make me feel shameful for my story. But during this past few weeks, I've met so many people that have lived similar lifestyles like I have. And God has used all of these people to reassure me that the story that I have is very unique, and it's that way for a reason. I definitely see God moving in so many ways. It's just been so amazing. A lot has been going on, really. Every single day there's something new to share. Through your church's website and social media, I saw that youth were full of events, and that's so exciting. So enjoy, and remember the challenge. Remember to speak truth to others, even if it's only through your character. And remember that high school will finish, but the Lord will not. So just share Him everywhere you are, and every chance you get, and everything that you are doing. Anybody around you ever say that they have never met a Christian, or that they have never heard the message of the gospel? See ya!